this is MTB with Ryan, and today I'm going to be showing you how to replace an inner tube. So the first step in replacing it is getting the wheel off the bike. Now, my bike has a quick release, so it's pretty simple, but some bikes that have bolts on, you have to completely unscrew the bolts. This could be annoying, but normally getting the rear wheel off is about the easiest part. The next thing you want to do is undo the tire from the bead. Now, this may have already happened when the tire is at low pressure, but if not, you just go around the tire and pull like this, get it off the bead, flip it around, and do it on the other side. Get it so the tire is completely loose off of the rim. The next thing you want to do is get the tire off the rim. Now, you should ideally use bicycle tire levers, but I don't have any, and these are more like bigger dirt bike tire levers, but they should still work without damaging anything. So the first thing you want to do is get it in and get the one part over, but leave it like that. The next thing you want to do is get under another spot, get it under, bring it over, and take the one that was in there before, grab it, and bring it around. So you just want to keep repeating this process, and it'll be easier to get the tire off. And once you get it to such a point, I think where I am now, you can just go around by hand and get the rest off. See how I'm doing this right now. Let's see. Then, once the bead is off, or once the tire is off, then what you want to do is you want to find where the valve stem is, which is over here, down here, see? And then you want to undo it from the wheel. So you want to take it out like this and get it off there. Once that's done, you can easily, see, the tire just came off, you can easily get the tire and the tube off of the rim and be good. So I'm just going to take the old tube out, and there we are. If you're interested to know how this tire popped, my brother was riding the bike and he hit off the curb really hard and the tire just exploded. Now, as you can see as I get closer to the camera, you may be able to see the rip right here. And that is a pretty big rip, and that's why the air just all let out at once. But sometimes the leaks are very small and hard to notice, and they'll come out very slowly and the air will just trickle out. The next thing you're going to want to do is get out your new tube and inflate it just a little bit. Now, some people put the tubes in just completely empty, which is normally quite a problem. But if you take it out and inflate it a little bit, it'll take its shape and it'll make it much easier to put in. But you don't want to put too much air in. You just want to put it so it can take its shape. So maybe just a couple pumps from a floor pump like this one. As you can see, you just give it a few pumps. And it also depends on the tire size, how many pumps you want to give it. But see how this, now I probably gave it a little too much there, so I'll take some out. But see how now it's taken its shape? So here I can put this on here and take some air out. Alright, and this is about roughly the PSI you want, just a little bit, not too much, in your inner tube before you start putting it in. Next thing you want to do is get the tube in the tire. Now the first thing you want to do is find the valve stem hole and put the valve stem through it. Once you've done that, you have to do a little bit of finagling, but you have to get the tube inside the middle of the tire. This can be, depending on the bike, easy or difficult, but in this case with this tire, it is pretty difficult. So I'm going to speed it up here and I'll show you guys the process. as you can see in that time-lapse video, I actually found a much better way of doing it. If you put the tube in the tire first and then put the whole thing on, it makes it much easier than putting the tire on first and then doing it after. So it also depends on the type of rim. I just replaced a hybrid tire last week, and the other way it worked much better. So depending on what kind of tire and what kind of rims and your tire width, it could be either way. But that is a new method that I had never known before, and maybe it's popular. I've never heard of it. So that works too. Then once the tire is in the tube is in the tire and it's on the rim, then all that's left to do is pump it up. So I'm gonna spin it around so my pump can get on it. I'm gonna put my pump on it. And I'm going to start pumping up. And as you start pumping up, the bead should pop here in a second as more air goes into it. Takes quite a few pumps for it to pop in, but any second here. And now we're getting full. So, bead worked, it's in now. Seated. It's a good sign. So we have got to keep pumping up to our desired pressure. And there we go. Now the tire is, or maybe just a little bit more. All right, now the tire is good. It is in there. It's good like a new tire again. Has bounciness. So if you have a little cap like I do, you'll want to install that. So I actually have this little metal piece here that goes on just to keep the Schrader valve intact. You may be wondering why I use a Schrader valve instead of a Presta, because it's better to use Presta on mountain bikes. It's what everyone uses. Well, just in general, I'm not going to be riding this bike anymore. It's my brother, and he's not as much into mountain biking, but he just likes the bike. So it's easier, when you're out of place to find a Schrader valve, so I just figured a Schrader valve would be easier. So once your tire's done, then you just gotta put it back on the bike. Now, so you just put it on the bike, it's real simple. You just gotta put your chain back on, which can be a little bit tricky, but it's never too difficult. So you just wanna put it through there, put it on whatever gear, it doesn't really matter. And there you go, see it's in. Then you just re-tighten up your quick release. Simple as, simple as tightening up your quick release, which is easy enough. Just gotta get it to a good spot to tighten the quick release. And there you go. Your tire is tight and it's back on your bike. Just like that. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful or entertaining or whatever the reason why you watched it. But yeah, now my tire's back up and running, and there's going to be a new video coming out soon because I'm buying a new bike to replace the Gary Fisher. So expect that in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be another new video. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.